Hey, what's up? Welcome to Degen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of us is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Walmart, ticker symbol WMT, which closed the week on Friday, February 16th at a price of $170.36 just before earnings, which will be reported on Tuesday morning just before market opens at 7 a.m. Central or 8 a.m. Eastern. And I will be streaming that, starting the stream just before the earnings call to make sure everything goes smoothly. So I will be starting that at 8:15 a.m. Eastern. So make sure you join if you want to check out the earnings call and see how the chart responds to the news. And so here in this video, I'm just going to be going over the chart here, looking at the monthly time frame to get kind of a bigger picture perspective. And then I'll also be looking at the daily candles so we can really get to see where price might be going. And so here, before I throw up the drawings that I put up here, I do want to just point out that the monthly candle is not complete, and so that will be completed by the close of February. But if we do look at current price, it is currently above this wick here for the month of November, and so that does actually look pretty strong with the close of February being above that wick. However, like I said, February is not over, so this may not play out, but I do think it looks pretty bullish based on that. But if we do zoom out a little bit, one thing that does look a little bit concerning is if we notice here, we are forming higher highs in the stock price again on the monthly time frame, but the RSI, we are forming lower highs. And so that is bearish divergence. So that doesn't look too good, but this is also on the monthly time frame. So, perhaps, months down the road, Walmart may top, but just thinking about, over the next few trading days, I don't think this necessarily suggests that we are at a top and will be pulling back, but it is something to note that perhaps longer term, Walmart will likely be topping and turning around, going down with this bearish indicator here. So something to consider. But yeah, I just want to throw up some of these drawings that I've done that stand out to me as being pretty exciting. One of them being this parallel channel. You can see the touch points there. And so, this, seems like a little bit of a stretch, but there are a number of things that do stand out as being potentially significant with it, like how, price bumping into that and then following the top side of that channel before breaking into the channel. And one thing also that may stand out as questionable is we did get a close below the channel. However, that's just one close, and really you want to see two closes below or above any level to suggest a breakout or breakdown in this case. And all that we saw was one close, which was a fake out. And so that was the close for the month of June 2022. But then the following month, for July, we did get a break back into that channel. So that does look, I think that looks pretty cool. And so we are currently trading within the channel. So it could suggest that price will be going lower or higher following earnings. But I will look at that on the daily time frame, and I think that should give us some insight as to where the price might be going. And then one other thing that I do want to point out, just really taking a step back, is these two highs that we saw going back to, let's see, 1992, the end of 1992, and this high here for April of 1999. I was thinking it'd be nice to connect those 2 points to see if there's some significance, either suggesting resistance or support, where current price is. And, that's a lot higher than the current price. So that does make me think that that could actually suggest that price will be going higher, because I do think, as these levels, as this level was significant resistance in the past, I do think it will be in the future, but price has to go a lot higher to get there first. So I don't think that is a top signal, a bearish signal at all for this stock, I do think that there is potential for a lot of upside following earnings. But yeah, just zooming in here, now I'm going to switch over to the daily chart so we can see some of these levels and how we've been respecting them. And so this red line here is marked at $169.31, which was this previous high, which looks like there was a drop right around earnings, the last earnings call. And yeah, a pretty big gap was formed there, but then that gap has since been filled. But since current price is trading above that level, I do think that is a good sign that that level could potentially serve as support if there is to be a little bit of a pullback and there could be, a break to the upside. But if that level is broken, I do think that $165, just being a round number there, I do think that could act as support if we do break lower, and that is really based on the highs over here, as well as this consolidation that looks like there was some resistance there before breaking up before the earnings report. Yeah, just a little bit of consolidation there on the way up. So I do think that will act as notable support on the way down if that is the direction the stock goes in. And also, if I do throw up the volume profile, it does look like we start to see volume pick up there because of all this consolidation over here. And so I do think that we could see a lot of support there. But then one thing that does stand out as a little bit concerning, on the way up here, a gap was formed right around $159. Looks like the high on January 9th was $159.31. So I do think price could, potentially, eventually be pulling back to that level to fill that gap. But it is also quite possible that gap will never be filled if price does rally following earnings. And then one final level to the downside that I want to point out is this yellow line here at right around $158 based on the high here of July 5th, 2023, and that being a price of $157.96. As you can see, there is a nice volume shelf at that level. So if price does retrace to fill this gap here, I do think it could definitely find support right around $158. I don't think it'd be going any lower than that. But then thinking about prices to the upside, I'm just going to adjust. Actually, before I adjust the axis, one thing that I want to do, I'm pretty excited about, I think it's pretty cool, if I do a retracement from the high here just before that gap down to the low here, I think that we'll see something pretty exciting to the upside. And so if I just adjust the y-axis here, we can see that from that Fibonacci retracement, the 1618 extension is at a price of $181.53. That is also below the top of the parallel channel that I've drawn. So I do think that, if earnings are really good, if there is a good response to the earnings call, I do think price could go up at least $10 from the closing price on Friday up to right around $180. So, I think that there's a lot of potential to the upside, but I also do think that there are a number of levels to the downside that are good to pay attention to. And one thing I do just want to note, looking at that Fibonacci retracement, the 786 retracement is right around $165. So I do think that if we do pull back to that level, I do think some support could be found there, but it might be, a bear flag before continuation to the downside to these other levels, but that is just one to note. And also, as I close the video, I do just want to point out it's quite possible this is a bull flag that we're seeing up here because we did get a fake out to the downside and then following that, a move to the upside. So, it is quite possible, and I am rooting for the stock to go up, but if it does not, these are levels to the downside to pay attention to. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video and share your thoughts in the comments down below and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot for watching.